Well, they're superheroes of social justice on a mission to promote equality, reduce violence, and strengthen our community through art and creativity. The Art Force 5 was created by Dan Napolitano, Director of Student Activities at Alfred University, and he joins us today along with student Mawia Alawad. She, of course, is a member of the Force. Thanks for coming on today.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. How did Art Force 5 get its start?
About 10 years ago, I did a little workshop on diversity in media and comic books, and the students really took to it. They really enjoyed exploring equality through comic books, and it led shortly to a program where we dressed up as superheroes to talk about history lessons. And we bought a lot of spandex and sewed it, and we did a history show way back in 2006.
Wow.
And yeah, it just evolved from there.
And something happened in the beginning of 2016 that kind of boosted the, you were in the spotlight, you won the Unite Rochester Challenge. Tell us about that.
So the Unite Rochester Challenge, we originally attended this summit here in Rochester, and then Dan was in a workshop group, which was kind of, the idea was brought up, and he wanted to pursue it. So a team of us went together to the actual challenge, and then we presented our idea of what we were planning to do with the city. We were from 89 contestants.
Wow.
So it was really competitive. There was a whole process where people had to vote on who they wanted to see go to the finals.
Right.
So as we did our outreach, we kind of let people know that, hey, we're trying to get into this challenge. Would you support us by voting for us? People voted. We ended up presenting our challenge and winning, and since then, the rest is history.
And so with that grant, you've been able to take the Art Force 5 on the road. You've had a very busy summer. Tell us about that and the projects that you've done.
So the pitch that we made for the city of Rochester was just one form of community-based art.
Okay.
We create a whole bunch of different art that engages people in dialogue, makes people feel like they're part of the city. So the pitch for the city of Rochester was that we would build mosaics, and each mosaic would be 361 pieces, and they would cover a different topic, everything ranging from poverty, education, violence, police relations, and that's what we set out to do.
And how does that look out in the community, Mawia, for example, with improving police and community relations? How does art do that, build that bridge?
So art provides an opportunity for people to kind of express themselves, but it's also an opportunity for us to engage them and let them know that, hey, this is a chance for you to be part of a bigger picture. Our mosaics are like one tile out of 361, so it takes 361 community members to complete the larger picture. Everyone takes a chance to, maybe a minute or so, pick out a pattern they want to paint on a tile. They copy that pattern, and then as they are painting that tile, there's some sort of dialogue that's happening in between maybe one of the members, another community member, or perhaps whoever else is painting. So that's that moment of dialogue that's important in the process, and that's where people really exchange ideas. And then at the end, when they actually come up to put their tile up to be part of the bigger picture, another form of dialogue is exchanged by if someone else is putting their picture at the same time, or they compare pictures and so on. So there's a lot of opportunities to share different thoughts and ideas and just conversations in general.
And you're one of 5
I am
students.
one of 5, yep.
Tell us about the other members of Art Force 5.
So generally it's all of us are college students, and we ourselves are very unique, and there isn't a set 5 number of members, but it's whoever feels like they would like to be a part of the program. Dan can talk about the program that he has at school, which is kind of a classroom setting, but overall for the Unite Rochester Challenge, all 5 members actually attended the city school district at one point, so they are part of Rochester, which we thought would be really important when it comes to really trying to create opportunities for people to connect and know that we really care about this project.
Dan, why is it so important for Alfred University to reach into Rochester and do this work?
Well, Alfred is the home base. We are about 75 miles south of Rochester, but we have tons of students from Rochester. And when we talk about experiential education and really having a transformational experience, it really starts at home. So students returning to their home communities and giving back to their home communities with the knowledge that they've gained from Alfred is critical. So we had psychology majors and art majors, and we had education majors and comm studies majors, all using those skills in their home community. So it was great to see the students realize that they had power to implement change in their own hometown.
And how does outreach happen for you guys in the fall? You said you visit schools every week.
Yep, usually now that the college students are back and taking classes, it's hard to tear them away from college life.
Sure.
But every Wednesday morning we go and we do a school visit. This fall we did Henry Hudson 28, and give a shout out to them. And we do a lot of schools in the southern tier, but we are up here quite a bit in Rochester, about once a week. And then over any school breaks, when the college students are on break, we plan on doing some more do more school tours of the city schools. And so we probably will spend our spring break up in Rochester in March visiting some schools, while other college students are in Cancun tanning. We will be putting on our Art Force 5 aprons and visiting schools and doing our nonviolence work.
And I read that the aprons are your capes in reverse.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And you guys kind of have not an kind of an alter ego.
Yeah.
How do the kids react to seeing you guys as artists and superheroes?
I think at first they see us as like, oh my God, these people are coming in, and they're first captivated about that with the activities that we have in our workshops. So that's another part of it, and we really try to step back and let them take power and control how things go, to let them know that like you have a voice. But I think at the end of it, we reveal our identities right before we swear them in to be members of the Art Force 5. And I think that's the key moment where they're like, wow, these are kids who have experience and have gone through things just like me, and they are here, sharing their story, but in a sense of through community-based work. They're letting me be a part of the experience, which I think is the moment where they're like, oh my God, they're so cool, or oh my God, I love this, we're cool. Oh my God, I love this project, and now I want to do something like this. And we find out that they actually wear their buttons that they end up getting for like years on end.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so you work with very young kids, but you also in the nursing homes.
Yep.
How does outreach happen in a nursing home?
Well, again, we're talking about concepts of art therapy. So we visited our first nursing home just this past year in Rochester. And we tailor our workshop for whatever audience, whether it's kindergarten or it's professionals or it's nursing homes. And we have probably a kind of portfolio of about 10 different exercises we can do. Most of them are very tactile, different modalities of learning, so we want people to physically do something.
Okay.
So with the nursing home, we did a couple craft activities that really kind of echo our message of community, our message of equality. We have 5 different message points, and we still can incorporate that into any age range. So with the nursing homes, it really was just about us having conversations. The elderly there were just so happy to have somebody to have a conversation. But then the art activity, the physical activity was icing on the cake.
Malia, do you have a favorite activity or project that you've worked on?
I think I really like the one where we get them to dress up as important figures of time. So like we get people to dress up as like the Yellow Kid or Wonder Woman, but we also have this other activity where we let them know about like different ways that people who impacted our history have dealt with issues creatively rather than through violence. So we dress them up as like Jackie Robinson, and then we have them hit this little fuzzy ball and try to run the bases. So that's really a fun activity where I could see their imagination working, but they're also physically being active at the same time and laughing with each other and us. So that's probably one of my favorite moments.
It sounds like a lot of fun. How about you, Dan? What's your favorite?
Favorite activity in our workshop would probably be, right off the bat, we ask all audience members if they could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh.
And you get a variety of responses, but they all come back down to the fight or flight reflex. That fight being super strength, flight being invisibility and flying away from trouble. And we talk about conflict resolution skills, about how we love to pretend that we could have a superpower, but really we have to face our problems. And that's where creativity being our ultimate superpower, what we keep saying over and over again, is we want creative problem solvers. So by the end of a workshop, we sell these kids on the power of creativity, not on the power of flight or running away from your problems or having super speed, but really about what it means to be a creative problem solver. And right from the bat, they come out of the session really believing it. And we do some magic tricks and we convince them that we have superpowers. But it's just really about winning over these kids.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook you guys were able to meet Stan Lee and do a project around that. Tell me about that.
Okay, so the most weirdest, craziest experience ever. This whole trip, we were just, the idea that we're gonna make this mosaic, and then as we're getting ready to go, we're like, what if we actually meet him? It's like this bizarre concept that we really want to meet him, but what if we actually get to meet him?
Now, can I say what the mosaic was first? And then you finish off. So the mosaic, we were invited by the Comic-Con coordinators.
Right.
So it was a tribute. He's 93, it's his last Comic-Con, and we wanted to kind of salute him. So it required 361 people, paint a tile, Stan Lee portrait saying New York loves Stan Lee. We worked on it all week, and then
And then, so the whole process, we're there and we're having people come in and come out. We were in a family room, so there was a lot of activity. People come in and come out, paint a tile here and there. And then it just got to be more anticipating for us, like, what if we get to see him? So then Dan talks with the coordinators of Comic-Con that invited us over, and we're trying to see, like, different ways that we can get in so that we can get him to sign this and maybe get some pictures.
Wow.
Now, mind you, autographs are $100.
Oh, wow.
So that was going to be the toughest part. So this miracle happens, and we finished the mosaic just in time, and then this miracle happens where the coordinators of Comic-Con, they were able to get us to be at the front of the line.
Wow.
So Dan makes it over there with another student, with our colleague Noah Mitchell, makes it over there. They're in line at 8 a.m. And then they're waiting, and then we joined them a little bit later after we finished our workshops. We put stuff together, and then we are going over and we see them, and they were waiting for about 5 hours in line. So we ended up
meeting him.
Luckily, but what saved us was that his manager came around and he saw it, and we're like, we don't know if he'll want this, and then he's like, he'll want it.
Wonderful.
So then we were at the front of the line. We went, he signed it, and then the rest is history from there.
That is so awesome. Great job, you guys. For more information on Alfred University's Art Force 5, visit drawntodiversity.com. You can also follow their progress on Facebook and Twitter. And Dan can be reached directly at 607-871-2671.